The first kind of big expenditure that the government has already announced, which will be in that budget, is a substantial tax cut on Canadians' income. That will cost upwards of $6 billion. That's a big ticket price. And, you know, roughly it's going to save the average Canadian who pays income tax only a handful of dollars each month. So while it costs a lot, when you take a look at all of it together, the impact for everyday Canadians is going to be quite small. In terms of what New Democrats are going to be looking for in that budget, it'll be a very strong commitment to pharmacare. Pharmacare, of course, is an extension of the current medical system, the Medicare system that we have in Canada, that would cover not just your health, but also your prescription drugs. And right now in Canada, we don't have a pharmacare plan. We only insure visits to the doctor or trips to the hospital. But when you go to the doctor and they write a prescription for you, you have to pay out of pocket, or many Canadians also have coverage where they work. But millions of Canadians don't have any coverage. And with the rising cost of prescription drugs, it's becoming an issue that many more Canadians are concerned about. And so what the New Democratic Party was working on in the last election campaign was to bring in a universal pharmacare that would cover all Canadians eventually. And so the Liberals also agreed with that. And so I think what the NDP will be looking for first and foremost will be a major commitment and money put aside to cover that pharmacare plan. Having a firm commitment to pharmacare will be very, very important. But there'll be other things that the NDP will be looking at in that budget to decide whether to support it or not. And within a minority parliament context like we have today, if one of the opposition parties says that they're going to vote for the budget, that gives permission for the other opposition parties to say that they won't, without triggering the fall of the government and triggering another election campaign. So we've had many minority parliaments in Canadian history in the past, and I know from my firsthand experience, when another party is going to support the government, you kind of have a free pass to oppose it. But I would look for things like a firm commitment to reconciliation and First Nations, particularly when it comes to taking First Nations children to court over welfare and education costs. If the government is committed to doing that, I think the NDP will likely maybe step back from supporting that budget.